Dr. Don Bonner with Personalized Wellness, and today I'm going to shoot another video with this introductory series that I'm doing for new patients here at the clinic, and it's not for just new patients here at the clinic. But this is actually a really good video that I'll probably post up on Facebook and send it out to everybody that's on the mailing list. But I want to talk about seed oils. I'm becoming a much bigger proponent of the idea that these seed oils may be the biggest trigger for causing the obesity epidemic that we have now in the United States and worldwide. And basically these seed oils are canola oil, soybean oil, all of these oils that you can get, vegetable oils that you can get, and that you've cooked with, and they've told us that was healthy for us in years past. These seed oils are omega-6 fatty acids, and technically it's what's called linoleic acid, which is, again, an omega-6 fatty acid. Frankly, these oils were never meant to be used, or were never able to be used for human consumption because they became rancid too fast. So they had to alter the way they were made and to keep them to have shelf life, essentially. Once they did that, then they became very prominent in our diets. And I think the danger with these oils, and the other thing I was going to say, it's not just the oils themselves. So, you know, I tell all my patients never cook or use vegetable oils. But the other thing you got to consider are the meats that we're eating, and the big ones are chicken and pork, and mainly chicken. You get a substantial amount of linoleic acid when you eat chicken, because chickens are basically fed corn and soybeans and these sorts of things. So the chickens end up, their fat tends to be composed of linoleic acid, as opposed to, say, beef fat, which has more of what's called stearic acid, saturated fats and stearic acids. And I believe those fats keep us from getting fat. And I think the key to these oils is at the adipocyte, or is at the fat cell. We talked in an earlier video, I talked to you about these fat cells and how everybody has what's called a personal fat threshold, basically how fat you can get and still be healthy. When you reach that personal fat threshold, these fat cells have expanded and expanded and expanded to a point where they start to leak fatty acids out into the circulation, and they also start to leak out different hormones, leptin and things like that, from the fat cell, as well as inflammatory markers. So you become more inflamed as these fat cells begin to secrete all of these different things. When this happens and your subcutaneous fat cells become overfilled, the fat cell itself becomes insulin resistant, so insulin levels rise trying to get fat into these fat cells, but the fat has to go somewhere. If it can't go to your subcutaneous fat cells, then you start depositing that fat in visceral organs. So fatty liver disease, you put it in your pancreas, you put it everywhere internally, and we definitely know that fat is very inflammatory and very harmful for us. The interesting thing is if you reverse this fat and you stop eating and taking in linoleic acid, and part of that is from chicken. So you decrease the omega-6, and basically what happens is when you decrease these oils, the oils themselves are making it to where these fat cells continue to grow and grow and grow. So when you decrease these oils, the fat cells start to shrink and shrink and shrink. And when they get back to a normal size, you start losing that visceral fat, because then the visceral fat can leave the area that it's at and can go back to these subcutaneous fat cells because there's room. So it's a matter of shrinking these subcutaneous fat cells. And the way we do that, initially when you're metabolically damaged, you're going to have to decrease the amount of carbohydrates that you're taking in, there's no doubt. You're going to have to add fasting protocols, and we've talked about that in the past. So decreasing carbohydrates, increasing your fasting protocols, especially intermittent fasting. But the other big key is getting rid of these vegetable oils, and I don't think I quite emphasize it enough as I should. So no vegetable oils. Try to get rid of processed foods as much as possible because they're full of these linoleic acids and omega-6 fatty acids. Also, I have to say, yeah, I think we need to decrease our chicken consumption unless it's organic free-range chicken. Otherwise, I think you're still getting these oils into your system. By decreasing the oil, so those three things, decreasing your carbs, fasting protocols, and getting rid of these oils. I would say the final take home that I would, give to you is use butter. I like butter a lot. Use more of the avocado oils and the olive oils, and stay away from these vegetable oils. You can also add what's called stearic acid to your diet. You've got to purchase that at certain sites. I think that it is beneficial, but again, it's kind of a hack that you pay for. You can get butter that has stearic acid in it, and I think the stearic acid, it's a different type of fatty acid. I think the stearic acid speeds this reaction on decreasing these fat cells. So those are the things that we need to do, and the things that are going to make us healthy. I can guarantee you that if you'll do these things, we're going to lose weight, we're going to lose fat mass, and we're going to feel better. So again, I'm Dr. Don Bonner with Personalized Wellness. If you're a new patient, I appreciate it. And come in, we'll take good care of you. And otherwise, have a good day. Thank you.